First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, welcome to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. That is a live look down there of the Tillicum Bridge. As you can see, there is still a lot of ice and slush on there, and that's all over the metro area right now as we see the temperatures starting to warm up, and we're going to be talking about just that. Again, this is Fox 12 Now. We live stream here every weekday starting at 1 p.m. Pacific on Fox 12 Oregon's website, apps, and social media channels. So thank you for joining us. We'll be here throughout the afternoon with updates on all kinds of things. Right now, talking about those road conditions around the area, what to expect if you go out there. I can tell you from a personal standpoint, it's still pretty slick in a lot of places. There's still a lot of ice out there, but let's talk about the overall picture. Joining us right now, we have Dylan Rivera from the Portland Bureau of Transportation. Dylan, thank you, very much for joining us today. And, I'm sure this has been a very trying last few days, but just to get an update, I guess, where are we at right now?
We've got about 35 road closures. Currently, we had as many as, exceeding 50 over the weekend. So we're in much better shape because of the hard work and around the clock work of PBOT crews and the work of our partners, the foresters at Parks and Recreation and PGE and Pacific Power crews helping with the power outages. So we're down to about 35 road closures, and the dynamic has really changed this morning. And we're seeing a lot of the benefit of our work from over the weekend, working on salting and sanding and de-icing our routes. That really paid off in this event, and you can see it on our streets this morning.
And looking at it, with this ice storm that came through yesterday and what that did, so the preparation that you had ahead of time helped out with that, but what were some of the issues that you did notice just from last night into today?
Last night, it was an interesting dynamic because the routes that we plow and salt and sand, most of them throughout the night had one lane that was passable for front-wheel drive and certainly all-wheel drive vehicle. But when you went to some steep hills and certainly areas at higher elevation, 500 feet, whether it's the West Hills, Mount Tabor, Mount Scott out in the Pleasant Valley area, those areas you'd have curb-to-curb ice, so much less drivable at higher elevation at 500 feet or 1,000 feet on Skyline, for example. But our crews worked overnight last night, continuing to work during and after the freezing rain. And what they were doing changed overnight. As the ice started to accumulate, we had to focus on that one lane on our routes. And it came down to literally using the weight of our vehicles and the chains on our tires to break up the ice, like physically, like breaking up the ice to help the salt and sand be activated, get some traction. That the salt, even the solid salt, needs a little liquid in there, so we get a little bit of thawing. The salt gets activated and starts to work, and the traction, the grit from the sand starts to work, and we found that it's been paying off today with much more passable and slushy streets in that one lane on our routes. We still have really icy hills and some steep slopes, and of course the side streets that we don't plow are a sheet of ice that is now wet since we had some drizzle this morning. So you have to use extreme caution when you're going out there, and go super slow if you're going to drive, and delay your re-entry onto the roads as much as possible.
When it comes to that, talking about all those different things that you were doing there to keep those maintained, especially those main roads, chopping them up, really a regimen of things. Looking out now for the rest of today, just at the current time we're at, it's a little after 1 p.m. on Wednesday here. Do you plan to continue to do any of that, or is it more let this warmer weather melt that away and just kind of wait it out for Mother Nature to take its course?
Oh no, we'll continue on those routes to make sure we have that passable lane. Mother Nature is helping us, but there's still more work to do. One of the later phases of this that we haven't quite reached, but we're starting to reach, and we'll see tonight and through the evening and maybe even tomorrow morning, is we'll need to be plowing slush off of the roads. And sometimes that involves a wider street like Martin Luther King or Grand Avenue or Sandy, 122nd. We'll have 2 or 3 plows working in tandem together because one is pushing material to the side. Well, then we have one pushing that material to another side to the next lane and so on. So you get those 3 plows going, and that really creates the most effective plowing you can. We did some of that over the weekend, and Sunday that was showing results with bare pavement in some cases, wet pavement on Sunday and Monday into Tuesday. And then that positioned us well for the freezing rain as well as one could be.
Another quick question too, just when it comes to all of the trees, that were knocked down here over the last several days. I mean, an extraordinary amount, and I know that blocked off some of the roads. You mentioned that you have, I believe, 35 or so, somewhere around there, that are still closed. What are the plans on those, and are those tree related?
So since the snow started falling Saturday morning, uh, almost virtually 100% of the road closures we've had have been related to down trees, and some of those also with power lines and trees in the city streets. And so we've had to work really more closely than ever with urban foresters at the Portland Parks and Recreation Department to really address the trees using their expertise and their equipment, focusing that resource on the most important emergency transportation routes that police, fire, and first responders need. And then also bringing in, PGE and Pacific Power as needed, coordinating all 3 of us to get the work done on the most important streets first, make sure it's safe for the foresters. Cutting off power, restoring power, managing the power issue, and then clearing those trees with expertise from the urban foresters. So it's been a real team effort. There were 100 tree emergencies that blocked city streets over the weekend. We cleared at least 60, and for a while there, we'd clear 15 and 20 more would emerge, and we'd clear 20 and 25 more would emerge. But we finally have caught up to it. We feel like the trees that are down have been down all day today. We have no new road closures today, Wednesday, because of down trees. And that's really remarkable to us. We're really surprised by that.
I was going to say I expected there to be a lot more trees that are down from this ice, but it sounds like there's no more, at least, road closures associated with it.
We're crossing all our fingers and knocking on all the wood and everything we can to make sure to hope that we continue with no further road closures due to down trees. And so that with that and the warming trend we're seeing and the rain is very important. We need warmer temperatures for sure, but rain really helps us recover from these snow and ice events to help really clear the streets and drain them. We need several things to continue. We need no more trees to fall on the roads. That'll help us focus on clearing those 35 that are mostly from existing trees that are down that came from the weekend. So we're getting our eyes on all of those. We're working with the foresters to try to clear as many of those as we can. We've cleared a handful already this morning. We're hoping to clear some more this afternoon. We have a new unfortunate thing happening today since the freezing rain. We've got a handful of road closures from car crashes and abandoned vehicles. That has not really been a part of this event that started on Friday night, Saturday. This is the first really time we've seen some substantial car crashes, Southwest Taylor's Ferry, South Water Avenue, a couple more, where folks have lost traction, had multi-vehicle collisions, and those have led us to close those streets. We're hoping to not have any more of that. Folks need to really use extreme caution on when you determine you're ready to go back out on these streets. Look at the sidewalks, take a close look at the neighborhood street you're on before you go out. Really take a deep breath and consider if you can take public transit or delay your travel.
Dylan, thank you very much for joining me then to talk about all of that as well, and just give people the advice and the update on where we're at. So not out of the woods yet, but getting better throughout the day, and obviously you've got the crews out there all working on this as well. So I know you've got a lot going on today, so thank you very much as always for being able to spend some time with us here.
Thank you. Thanks for helping get the word out to the public and helping people prepare for this severe weather and helping us recover. We need everyone to help with clear storm drains by your home or business, help that water drain off our streets, and really put that tree debris in the compost bin, and we can all help clean up after this event and help everyone get home safe.
That's great. Great to pass that on too. So clean out those storm drains that are on your street if you see those clogged, and make sure everything can drain out of there, and probably prevent some more flooding that could happen if that were backed up. All right, Dylan, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Have a good one. And for everybody watching too, thank you very much for joining us. Again, this is Fox 12 Now, so we're live here in the afternoons for Fox 12 Oregon. This is the place to go for that. We bring you information, interviews, segments on all kinds of different things, but right now, certainly pertinent information associated with all of the storms that we've been dealing with. We will be back here throughout the afternoon with more updates. I know that Katie Suniga is going to be joining me to talk about the weather and where we're at right now a little bit later. We'll be talking about something completely unrelated. Samsung has some new phones. We'll talk about that. And also, if there's any breaking news, we'll be here for you as well. So make sure to mark this down wherever you're at, wherever you found us right now. This is where to go. And I will talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.